Buckwheat is not actually a form of wheat. In fact, it isn't a grain at all. This plant is commonly cultivated in Asia and can be used for a variety of culinary purposes, particularly in noodles, breakfast foods, and certain beverages. It's also used in recipes for those following a raw food diet. People who care for their health and well-being are constantly thinking about which foods should be included more often in their daily diet and which ones are better to give up or eat less. Buckwheat is found in almost every kitchen, and is constantly praised by nutritionists. Why do they get so many good words from nutritionists? Buckwheat is a highly nutritious whole grain that many people consider to be a superfood. Among its health benefits, buckwheat may improve heart health, promote weight loss, and help manage diabetes. Buckwheat is a good source of protein, fiber, and energy. Buckwheat does not contain gluten, so for people with celiac disease or gluten intolerances, buckwheat and buckwheat flour are excellent dietary alternatives. What is buckwheat? Buckwheat is a wheat crop that grows throughout the United States. It is a pseudocereal as it shares many similar properties to cereals but does not come from grass as most other cereals do. Quinoa is another example of a pseudocereal. Buckwheat is an ingredient in many everyday food products, such as breakfast foods, flour, and noodles. Farmers also use it for livestock feed. Nutrition. Buckwheat contains a variety of healthful nutrients. It is a good source of protein, fiber, and healthful complex carbohydrates. Buckwheat also contains vitamins, including thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, folate, vitamin K, vitamin B6. How to prevent of spoiling buckwheat porridge. Those who are counting calories should include more buckwheat in their diet. 100 grams of buckwheat 349 kilocalories, which makes these grits non-calorific. When it comes to breakfast, buckwheat porridge is a very good choice because it is high in carbohydrates, in 100 grams as 70 grams. And for breakfast, carbohydrates are very good, they begin to break down saliva enzymes in the mouth and quickly provide energy for both mental and physical activity. Buckwheat was known to both Huns and Mongols many years ago. Although, they ate buckwheat with meat dishes. And here you have to make no mistakes. Sometimes buckwheat porridge is added to a meat dish as a side dish. It is not recommended to eat meat with any porridge. Groats contain substances that inhibit iron uptake. It is much better to choose potatoes or vegetables as a side dish. It is estimated that whole grains can reduce iron intake by 55 to 65%. But morning buckwheat porridge can be a really healthy and nutritious choice. On the other hand, porridge should not be made with greasy sauces. Often, when preparing the porridge, we add butter or fried crackers and onions to it. This should be abandoned. The taste and smell of buckwheat porridge can be given with herbs after grating tomato or basil with oil. Each herb has its own taste and aroma, along with additional minerals and vitamins. Health benefits. 1. Boosting heart health. As a whole grain, buckwheat could have benefits for heart health. The American Heart Association (AHA) recommend that at least half the grains in a person's diet should be whole grains. Whole grain foods contain nutrients that are important for heart health, including fiber and niacin. A 2015 systematic review found a link between diets that were higher in whole grain foods and a lower risk of heart disease. Animal studies have found that buckwheat may lower blood pressure, which can also improve heart health. People who follow gluten-free diets may consume lower intakes of whole grains, which means they miss out on the health benefits they provide. Including buckwheat into the diet as an alternative to whole grains that contain gluten can deliver these benefits. Buckwheat is a good source of fiber. According to the AHA, dietary fiber helps improve blood cholesterol levels, which, in turn, reduces the risk of heart disease, diabetes, stroke, and obesity. 2. Improving digestion. Buckwheat is rich in fiber. Dietary fiber is a type of plant-based carbohydrate that the body cannot break down during digestion. Fiber supports the intestines in digesting food efficiently and helps food move through the digestive tract. It may also have other benefits, such as encouraging weight loss and preventing cardiovascular disease. 1 cup of buckwheat also contains 1.58 milligrams of the recommended 14 to 16 milligrams of niacin for adults. Niacin, or vitamin B3, is essential for converting carbohydrates, fats, and proteins into energy for the body's cells to use. Being a good source of fiber and niacin makes buckwheat a good choice for digestive health. 3. Weight management. Buckwheat is also a good option for weight management. Satiety is the feeling of fullness after a meal. It is an important concept in preventing weight gain or promoting weight loss. Foods that increase satiety can offset hunger for more extended periods and may reduce the total number of calories a person consumes during a day. Buckwheat is high in protein. Research has found that high-protein foods are essential for weight management because they lead to greater satiety with fewer calories than other types of food. Including buckwheat in a healthful diet could lead to greater satiety and help with weight management. However, scientists will need to do further research into the effect of buckwheat and other whole grains to confirm this. 4. Managing diabetes. As a whole grain, buckwheat is a source of complex carbohydrate. This form of carbohydrate can help people manage their blood glucose levels. The body takes longer to break down complex carbohydrates than simple carbohydrates. This slows down digestion and helps keep blood sugar levels stable for longer. White bread is an example of a simple carbohydrate. According to the American Diabetes Association, whole grain foods are a good source of carbohydrate. These foods are an excellent source of energy and can provide fiber and minerals. Animal research has found that buckwheat had a positive effect on insulin and blood glucose in mice with diabetes on a high glucose diet. However, it is unclear whether these findings extend to humans with diabetes. 5. Reduce blood sugar. In comparison to many whole grains, this pseudocereal is very low on the glycemic index. This means that the carbohydrate content is absorbed slowly into the bloodstream, providing your body with a steady flow of energy. By preventing a sudden spike in blood sugar, this nutritious seed helps with diabetes management and may improve insulin resistance. 6. Protects against cancer. This pseudocereal contains antioxidants and phenolic compounds, which may help to fight certain types of cancer. Some of the antioxidants found in this food include flavonoids like oligomeric proanthocyanidins, which protect your cells against free radical damage and prevent the kind of dangerous inflammation that can contribute to the spread of cancer. 7. Source of vegetarian protein. Not only is this food rich in vitamins and minerals, but it is an excellent source of digestible plant protein. For every 100-gram serving, this food contains as much as 14 grams of protein, and 12 different amino acids to support growth and muscle synthesis. The protein content isn't quite as high as certain beans and legumes, but it is higher than most whole grains. To harness the power of this pseudo-cereal for yourself, cook whole groats at a ratio of 1:2 with water, and simmer for 30 minutes or until the grains are tender. You can also grind raw groats into flour for use in pancakes and other breakfast foods, as well as your favorite baked goods. Side effects. Buckwheat is generally safe to consume and should not cause side effects in most people. It is possible for buckwheat to cause a reaction in people with buckwheat allergies. They may experience symptoms, such as swelling in the mouth, or hives, when consuming buckwheat. However, reports of buckwheat allergies are uncommon in the U.S. Healthful ways to eat buckwheat. Buckwheat is easy to incorporate into a healthy diet. People can buy buckwheat groats in health stores or choose between brands online. Buckwheat flour is also available in stores and online for making bread, pancakes, and baked goods. People can eat raw buckwheat groats after soaking and draining the raw groats to make them easier to digest. Otherwise, boil the groats in water before adding them to salads, sides, or mains. To add buckwheat into the diet, try the following recipe ideas. Breakfast. Buckwheat porridge is a healthful alternative to standard breakfast cereals, or try making pancakes with buckwheat flour, which go well with berries. Lunch. Buckwheat groats make an excellent addition to a salad. Boil the buckwheat groats in salted water before adding to the salad. Dinner. To include buckwheat in a stir-fry, mix the groats with egg, then fry them over a medium heat for a few minutes before adding other ingredients. Dessert. Buckwheat muffins are a tasty, gluten-free option for dessert. In conclusion, buckwheat is a healthful and diverse food product. A range of foods, from cereal to pancakes, contain buckwheat. Buckwheat has an excellent nutritional profile, with a high protein content. It may have benefits for heart health and digestion. It could also make a great addition to the diets of people with diabetes, or those trying to manage their weight. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up and share with your friends. For more recipes and tips, subscribe to the channel.